Many times being in Brazil with my grandfather, there would be little altercations in the street, or we would go to different jiu-jitsu academies. And he was somebody who every day he told me, he said, "Hidon, you have no idea what you're capable of." So I remember times where we were driving in the street and he accidentally, hit somebody's car, and this man wants to fight on the side of the road in Brazil. And his immediate response to me is, "Hidon, go with him right now." And this is no training, no preparation. This is just my grandfather saying, "Fight him now." Now, fortunately, this man got back in his car and I didn't fight him. But it just really taught me that to be my grandfather's grandson, if he says go, go. And if he thinks go, go. And even if he doesn't say anything, we have to want to go because we have to be curious. The same way he was curious his whole life. And anybody he saw that was 10 pounds heavier, 100 pounds heavier, he would ask himself, what exactly can they offer? What can they do? And I want to test myself. So I'm here to test myself.
I like combat sports. I always have. I wrestled in high school. I did a little judo. I always wanted to be a professional fighter. Ever since I saw UFC 2, I was hooked. It was something that I knew I needed to do. This was a necessity. If I didn't do it, I would have a regret that would gnaw at me for the rest of my life. Being a complete fighter, I always wanted to be the best everywhere. I wanted to be able to have the tools to beat any opponent in any plane of combat. I am really proud of my lineage as a catch wrestler. I'm proud of all my coaches and the lineage that they had and all those a century or more of experience that has been bestowed to me, been gifted to me. It makes me think about how do I want to keep this moving forward? How do I continue to develop it and pass it along so others can have the same opportunity as well to do what with it that they want.
Do you want to do some jumping or what? When we go in the street together, we'll count to 3.
1,
2, 3. More. Okay, no more.
Every day I teach jiu-jitsu. I make vegetable juices and fruit juices. I hang out with my wife and my daughter, and I teach more jiu-jitsu. And I roll with some blue belts and brown belts and a few black belts.
I want to see if Valen can get me. She can't get me. You can't get me.
I can get Valen.
This morning I had already known I was going to do METAMORIS 6. And my morning started with juice and then going straight to the park with my daughter for like 2.5 hours. And running around watching her cook me fake food. And me fake eat it and chasing her on the apparatus, the slides, pushing her on the swing, just 100%, just living the life of a father, hanging out with my wife and daughter. It's the best thing, and having a second baby coming anytime. My second daughter should be here in anywhere from today till 10, 12 days from now. We have no idea, so it could be Saturday. This is my training. This is what I do every single day. This is how I train. I am not going to do anything different from today until Saturday. All I might do is teach a little bit less and relax and watch some movies, but if I'm not ready now, then I can't get ready in the next 3 days.
I originally learned how to lift from my brother-in-law, really, and he was a power lifter. So moving big weights has been a staple of my training regimen. I do explosive work, I do flexibility work, I do things that may seem more in line with what you might think a grappler or a professional fighter might do. And you've probably seen it before, battling ropes and all that stuff. I believe in hard goddamn work. I believe in, you want to break down the walls, you're gonna have to pick up that battering ram and do it yourself. Pulling trucks, lifting stones, shoving a heavy sled, swinging the mace. All these different things are to work strength within mobility, which is exactly the kind of thing that you need as a wrestler. Grip strength plays a lot into something like rope pulls, or in this case, pulling a truck. And that is just a simple breakdown of the concept of pushing and pulling. You pull that truck to you, get to the end of that rope, stop it, drive it back the other direction. You're bringing things in, you're shoving them away. You're pulling that guy's head into you, snapping it down. Now you're driving through and finishing that double, or you're blowing them off of side control.
Watching Josh and Dean at METAMORIS 4 was extremely eye-opening. I loved seeing how much control Josh had. Dean had amazing survival even though he lost in the end, but I felt like, man, I want to roll with Josh tonight, tomorrow, like get me his phone number. Right away I made this agreement with myself that I would roll with Josh one day. Speaking to Halik last night, midnight, and he's telling me that Cyborg dropped out of the event. And my first thought was, wow, like this is a sign. If my grandfather was here, if Gracie was here, he would say, hey, go roll with him. Go see what he has to offer. Go get a feel for this guy. So I said, Halik, I want to do this.
I don't know exactly how this thing is going to go down other than my hand getting raised at the end. And when I beat him, it'll be, well, this guy, well, that guy. Just because they get on the mat and I beat them, that doesn't make them bad. We all have to go out there and compete. These are all great guys, but I treat them as if they're the best guys that have ever walked this earth. I'm going to have an angle in which that I can apply it to them and take away their strengths and take them out. Honestly, technique is great, and we train and we hone that edge to the finest point, but the technique sometimes runs into a hammer that's bigger and stronger and harder than it is. That technique breaks.
No doubt that Josh Barnett is a beast.
He's an amazing grappler. I've heard stories of this dude wrestling other people that I knew and just tooling them up.
There's nobody like him, so I'm gonna learn a lot about myself come Saturday night.
The only reason you're stepping on this mat is because, well, you think you can beat me. So I know you're confident. Now I want to see what you got to back it up.
If Josh Barnett can tap me out, I'm gonna be blown away. I'm gonna be shocked. Now, this doesn't mean that I don't make mistakes. So I do make mistakes, but I'll be very impressed if he surprises me and catches me in anything.
We're gonna put on a show, top shows. We're gonna put on the kind of thing that you guys are gonna be talking about for years and years to come.